One of the most frustrating things to watch is when your team is picking up momentum. Everything is going right, but then you get hit with foul trouble. And during this series against the Indiana Pacers, a number of Knicks players have gone through it. Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride. But probably the worst culprit of them all is Karl-Anthony Towns. He just picks up fouls that he shouldn't. And recently, he revealed the reason why he gets into early foul trouble. He also wants the Knicks to play Precious Achiuwa more. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications on as well too. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do that is to hit that subscribe button. And now, let's get started. Karl-Anthony Towns explains his early foul troubles. Karl-Anthony Towns is a game changer for the Knicks, especially during this series. No one on the Indiana Pacers can stop him. Once he gets going, the best decision you can make is to stay out of his way. Whether you're a bigger player, a smaller player, it doesn't matter. Karl-Anthony Towns will find the advantage and he will take it. But the only one who can stop Karl-Anthony Towns is himself. You'll notice last game, he was not in foul trouble. And what happened? He went off. He was able to stay in the game for a lot longer and have an impact on the game. And if you look at the series, pretty much for the entire series, Karl-Anthony Towns has had to deal with some form of early foul trouble. And because of that, it has slowed down his momentum and the Knicks' momentum. Staying out of foul trouble for him is the most important thing. And recently, when speaking to the Inside the NBA crew, he revealed why he gets into early foul trouble. After Game 5 on Inside the NBA, Karl-Anthony Towns joined the crew to discuss the game. And during the interview, NBA legend Charles Barkley called out Karl-Anthony Towns for his early foul trouble. And here's what he had to say. Here's how this interview went down. Charles Barkley stated the following. Now, I gotta say something now. I gotta criticize you. Yo, man, why you be getting them dumb fouls? Why do you do that? Karl-Anthony Towns, his response, God only knows. We're gonna need a little bit more from you, Towns. We can't just get that. Thankfully, that is not where the interview ended. Charles Barkley continues by stating the following. When you got your fourth foul, they took you out of the game, and the Indiana Pacers made a run. You got to stop doing that. Karl-Anthony Towns then said, I got to do a much better job on that. Barkley follows up by saying, you can't be getting those fouls. And then Towns follows up by stating, nah, I can't. I can't. You ain't wrong. That hurts our team. But again, I want to give a shout out to the bench, the guys, Precious Achiuwa. They represented and they held it down. Even when I'm making these mistakes, I gotta fix that though. Shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns and also the Inside the NBA crew, Charles Barkley, for even asking him this question in the first place. I never thought we were gonna get this exchange, but I'm very happy to have it. First of all, huge credit to Karl-Anthony Towns. He did not have to do that interview. He did not have to answer that question. And he did not have to give that response. Clearly, he doesn't even understand why he's getting the fouls out there. When he's saying God only knows why, it's because he's not aware that he's committing those fouls when he's out there. You want to know why? Habits. You know, on offense, when he chicken wings the arm or he pushes off with the arm, he does that because it's habits. He does it throughout his entire career, regular season, through practice. Nothing happens. Nobody calls it out. And then in the postseason, it becomes a problem. That is why he is getting into early foul trouble. And honestly, why his response is, I'm not really sure why it's happening, but He obviously wants to make sure he is not making those mistakes and he's better for his team because clearly he said it there. He has to be better and he has to fix what's happening. So he knows he needs to do better. But something else that he mentioned here was the bench and utilizing them more and how he thanks the bench for helping him when he is struggling. But did you know who he name dropped? He could have mentioned anybody, could have said any name on the bench. But who did he mention? Precious Achiuwa. Now, why did he mention Precious Achiuwa? It was probably because when the Pacers were doing hack-a-mitch and Karl-Anthony Towns was in foul trouble and he could not help the Knicks during that time, who came in the game, had a great impact, had great defense, was able to score and get an and one as well too. It was Precious Achiuwa. Even though he hasn't played a lot of time during the postseason for New York, definitely not a lot of time against the Indiana Pacers, I think it's clear when he does play, he has an impact. He can rebound. He can block shots. He can clearly defend. And he can put the ball back inside the hoop. He has put back dunks as well. I'm not saying you need to play him 20 plus minutes. But if you're playing Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns, sometimes they're in foul trouble. Or you want to prevent them from getting into foul trouble. Another way of doing that is to put in Precious Achiuwa. He is going to have an impact. His defense is pretty good, and he can get you rebounds and block shots. Why wouldn't you try to put him into the game? I know the Knicks right now have expanded the rotation. Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright. Great adjustments. Series-saving adjustments by Tom Thibodeau. But I think another adjustment he could make is playing Precious Achiuwa just a little bit more because it helps New York in such a significant way playing with another big body on the floor, especially during the moments that Indiana is in foul trouble and they're going small. When they're going small and they have Siakam as the center, and I don't want to get any more fouls on Karl-Anthony Towns or Mitchell Robinson, I am putting in Precious Achiuwa. For those few minutes, however long it is, he will help the Knicks stabilize the offense and defense. He's done it before for New York. Clearly, Tom Thibodeau still has trust for him. Why not play him? Why not utilize him? It's not like we don't need a player like him. We do, especially in a series like this against the Indiana Pacers. But going back really quickly to what Karl-Anthony Towns said, his response was, God only knows. When you give a response like that, it's probably because you're not sure yourself why those fouls are happening. You're not sure yourself why you're putting yourself and your team in that situation to pick up those quick fouls. But he understands it. The team understands it. We all do. Karl-Anthony Towns cannot be stopped by the Indiana Pacers. That means the more you play Karl-Anthony Towns, the more he stays out of foul trouble. The Knicks are going to be a better team because of it. The Knicks are going to thrive, and whoever they're going up against, they're going to be worse because of it. If the Knicks can limit their fouls, limit their turnovers, and make sure they're taking care of the ball, moving the ball, and getting the best shot, not only will the Knicks blow out the Pacers again, they will force a Game 7, and I am here for it. The Knicks clearly do not want this series to end. They want to go to the NBA Finals. They made this road a lot tougher than it needed to be, but they have not given up. They want this series. They want to win. They want to take Game 7 back to MSG, back to Madison Square Garden. And hopefully, if they can do that, they can right a wrong from last year. They can beat Indiana in 7 games and go all the way to the NBA Finals. I believe in this team. I know this team can do it. They have not come this far just to fail, just to let us down. They are going to do the impossible. They are going to shock the world. They are going to force a Game 7. And then we are going to be talking about a Knicks team that overcame the odds and is going to the NBA Finals. But I am not skipping steps, and I am not skipping games. We have to take care of the schedule in front of us. First, we beat down Indiana for game 6. Then we'll start thinking about game 7. But tonight will be physical. It will be a war. And the Knicks will pull out the victory. But what about you guys? What do you think about Karl-Anthony Towns and what he had to say about why he gets into early foul trouble? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.